Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And at first glance, you could be forgiven for mistaking this for the 2023 25-piece limited edition Bethune DB28XP kind of blue. It is very similar to that watch in many regards, aesthetically, dimensionally. It's even from a similar time frame, but this is not that watch. What you're looking at is a piece unique that preceded the 2023 limited edition by 2 full years. So this watch stands alone, and it has several details that will make it instantly distinguishable from the subsequent limited edition. There's truly only one of these. So let's talk a bit about the DB28 real quick. The original version came out in 2010, won the GPHG Aiguille d'Or, or the Best Picture in the Oscars of watchmaking. In 2016, the Kind of Blue series with a blue oxidized titanium case was released. In 2020, the 10th anniversary DB28, the XP Extra Plat, the thin one, was released. And then in 2023, we got the XP Kind of Blue, a 25-piece edition that added back the power reserve indicator subtracted from the original 2020 XP. Well, this watch is not the 2023 edition. First, you could see a unique caseback. On the dial, you can also see a number of refinements that are distinct from the 2023 limited edition. Note the blackened hands at center, as well as the darkened spherical cabochon hour indices. These are distinct. These are unique to this example, and you will not find them on the standard Kind of Blue. So the watch is 43 millimeters in diameter, 9.9 millimeters thick, and we've got a floating lug setup that at full extension is 54.3 lug-to-lug, and then fully compressed 51 lug-to-lug. There's a 26 millimeter spacing between the lugs. I often talk about how light these watches are, and there's always a lot of talk about something like a Journe Line Sport in titanium or aluminum and how that would compare. Well, you can see this watch has a mass, try not to shake this scale, has a mass of 54.78 grams, okay? So we are well under 2 ounces. I'll throw the watch on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. The 28XP isn't necessarily smaller than the 28, it is thinner than the 28. And you can see on my wrist, this is a thin watch. It sits flat, flush, and actually sits quite nicely. I think you could wear this on a wrist of 16 centimeters circumference or larger. My wrist is 16, and in fact, the further you get from my wrist, the better proportioned it looks. If you're a fairly big guy, but you've got a thin wrist, this is gonna look good. My hand is large, my arm is long, and the watch looks great in proportion, although make no mistake, it is not a bashful timepiece, given that despite its lightness and its thinness, it is very prominent. But I think it does it in a fashion that a lot of watch enthusiasts will find more agreeable than if, for example, it were all rose gold or covered with diamonds. This is sort of a idiosyncratic prominence that's distinctive of the brand, and it's something that fans of Bethune really love. We've got a strap here with black woven textile. We've got a little gusset sewn in leather to avoid gouging, calfskin leather on the bottom. And you can see here we've got a buckle that is designed to match the watch. So you can see the lug profile very similar to the design of this fired blue titanium buckle. I keep saying fired blue titanium. What I mean to say is that there is a kiln at Bethune. It's not that big. It's the size of a large coffee maker. And all the parts go into it, and they're exposed to heat and oxygen in such a fashion that the parts that will go into a case are uniformly blued. So this is an oxide layer. And I believe the way they do this is it's an oxide 1/2 the wavelength of yellow light, so you see blue. As a result, because this isn't PVD or CVD, it is effectively a fired oxide. If this were scratched, or if you were to burnish straight through, it doesn't happen that often, but if it were to happen, when this goes back for service, they can actually refire it and restore the blue coating. So this is not some sort of PVD that requires an all-new case. You can also see here we have a screw-down crown on this model. On the 28XS, there is a push-down crown, but the XP and the original 28 feature screw-down crowns for extra security. Now you can see it is effectively a monoblock case with the mid-case and the bezel all being one part, and then there's engine turning in a sort of undulating ebb and flow that runs all the way around. This is called microlight. It's a type of lathe engraving that is a little bit more modern than traditional guilloche in aesthetic, but it's still reductive lathe guilloche, and you can see it on the dial as well. It doesn't look like a Breguet style rosette. It's something a little bit more contemporary, but just as artisanal. We have the ogival, or bullet cap, or torpedo tip lug ends, a styling vestige of the very first de Bethune watch from 2002 that has featured on most of the company's products through the years. The watch is beautifully made. In fact, it's very difficult to feel the lip between the sapphire and the edge of the case. The tolerances are impressive. The dial is very similar to the subsequent XP kind of blue, but again, they're not exactly the same. These blackened spherical cabochon outboard acting as the hour indices correspond to the blackened hands at center, and the 28XP kind of blue does not look like that. Other details, though, are very similar, including the fired titanium perforated outer ring that allows you to register the hours and the minutes visually. We have a mirror polished and fired barrel bridge at center. You can see the edges of it have been matte finished or satinated for a light contrast. We have beveled jewel sinks. We have solarized barrel covers. We have micro beveling on the ratchet wheel teeth. You can just barely see that. And then you can see that the bridge for the balance has been beveled, polished bright, and then fired blue. A couple of patents here. We have the twin self-adjusting barrels that give us 6 days of power reserve, 4 hertz beat rate. These self-adjusting barrels, if overwound, will simply slip one of the mainsprings, so you cannot damage them by overwinding. 90 turns fully winds them. We have 1, 2, 3 shock protection springs. The idea is to improve chronometric precision, but also prevent damage under extreme conditions of impact. We have a hairspring, which, although not made by de Bethune, is shaped by de Bethune. They take the standard flat hairspring, cut off the terminal curve, they shape it manually with this irregular curvature, and then micro clamp it back on, which allows it to keep consistent time in any position, just like an overcoil, but without the thickness and shock susceptibility that comes with an overcoil. Though you can't easily see it, we have the titanium and white gold de Bethune 2016 patent balance, and de Bethune has patented at least 10 different balance designs. The goal, when moving from one to its successor, is always to further minimize the impact of temperature change on timing, reduce the impact of aerodynamic drag if possible, and maximize the percentage of total mass in the rim. Not easy to see, but there is a de Bethune designed silicone escape wheel in there to reduce friction as well as mass, and you can see that there is a polished mirror underneath the assembly to reflect light back through it. You can also see that the beveling on the bridge is to a very high degree, and that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 interior angles where bevels converge in sharp creases at this center nexus over the balance wheel. Now on the standard XP kind of blue, there's a power reserve indicator on the back. And then here you could see that the owner decided that he wanted something fully customized. So you can see we have space, we have the solar system, and it semi-correctly depicts elliptical orbits rather than circles, which is nice. We have these little cabochons that have been inserted, and then we have engraved sort of gratte main, or hand-scraped and gold leaf-filled features of the cosmos. Galaxies, shooting stars, some gold leaf for the distant celestial bodies. And then, if you look carefully, you can see they are white with the exception of the sun, which has been tinted yellow. So, exceptional detail. And then, what this roughly means is through hardships to the stars, or through toil to the heights. And it's an inspiring little note. As they say, if you shoot for the stars and you miss, you may still land on the moon, but it is a piece unique. And if this were a kind of blue, you'd just be looking at a power reserve indicator. So, a very cool watch on a lot of levels, protected by no fewer than 6 individual patents, and remarkably discreet about its branding. It's very overt about its styling, but show me here where it obviously says the make or the model. It is remarkably strong in design, so a little bit like Moser. There doesn't need to be a signature with the name on it. It doesn't need to tell you it's Swiss-made because it's over 90% Swiss-made. They don't need to compare themselves to a 60% standard used on other brands. And nobody needs to tell you who invented or made it. You can tell this is Denis Flageolet. He's a genius, but his signature is a style and an ethos of engineering, not his name on the dial. So there's only one. Bit like Highlander. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.